Okay, so this is one of my replays I have using the Trickster deck that I tried to build myself. Basically, this is the only replay I have of a OTK, or one turn kill, if you're not proficient with acronyms. Anyway, so I'm going to go through what I have in my hand. What my opponent playing doesn't really matter. They, I guess, they are playing Amazonis. They don't really get a turn, so yeah. Anyway, so what I have in my hand is Trickster Candina. I believe that's how you say it. Candina, Terraforming, Trickster Reincarnation ×2, and 1 Dark Room of Nightmare. So I'm going to go step by step because each step I need to explain something. So first I activate Terraforming, which lets me add the Trickster's build spell to my hand, which is this card right here, Trickster Light Stage. So Light Stage's first effect is if my opponent has anything set on their field in their spell and trap card zone, I'm able to target it and I can force them to either activate it if the timing is correct, or they send it to the grave at the end of the turn. If it's the second effect, it means that they can't activate it for the remainder of this turn. However, that's not the effect we're going to be focusing on. The effect we're focusing on is the last effect, which is anytime a Trickster would inflict damage to your opponent, they take 200 more damage. So I activate that, and its other effect that I forgot to mention is I can add a Trickstar card from my deck to my hand. This is the main card you want, because this is the card that makes everyone annoyed and pissed off. Trickster Lyricarista? What? The level 3 one. Because basically its effect is the same, almost the same as Light Stage, but it's anytime your opponent add cards from their deck to your hand, they take 200. I believe every single Trickster card has a similar effect. Trickster Canidus has the effect where it deals 200 each time they activate a spell or trap. Lilybell doesn't. Lilybell is basically it can attack directly, and if you have a Trickstar in your graveyard, you can add it back to your hand. And then the other one, which I forgot the name of, is anytime your opponent activates a monster effect, I believe. Anyway, so we summon Candice. Candice lets us add another Trickstar from our deck to our hand, and I add another one of the Lyricalists. Then I activate Dark Room of Nightmare. And here's the fun part, which I didn't know until recent. You can chain Lyricalist to Lyricalist. So Lyricalist effect is basically if you have a Trickstar monster, return it to your hand, special summon this. I never knew you could summon 2 with the same monster on the field, but now I do. Anyway, you target Cardinia. Cardinia goes back to your hand, you summon 2 Lyricalists, and then I set down 2 Reincarnations, that's my turn done. So basically, Reincarnation's effect is I banish my opponent's hand, they draw the same amount, and that's it. And then the latter effect is if it's in the grave and I have a Trickster in the grave, I can special summon it by banishing this card. However, that's not the thing I'm really worried about, because they're not going to go to the grave, I hope. Anyway, with Lyricalists on the field and with Trickster Reincarnation, once my opponent draws their first card for the turn, they take 200 from Lyricalist, and then they take another from the other Lyricalist, and then they take 400 from the Light Stage, and then that triggers Dark Room of Nightmare, where they take 300 more. and then that lets me activate Reincarnation to banish their hand, and then once their hand is banished, I can activate another Reincarnation, and all of the pain will happen right now. So the person draws, they take 200 from Lyricalist and the light stages, Dark Room of Nightmare hits, and then Trickster Reincarnation hit, so they banish 6 cards, which is 1200, they take another 200 from the effects of light stage, they banish another 6 cards, that's another 1200, and then they take the 300 from the Dark Room of Nightmares from before, and now Dark Room of Nightmare triggers because in the chain it didn't apply when the effect of Lyricalist activated and then Trickster Light Stage activate, so it activates now and he dies. They die. So yeah, hope you enjoyed, because I certainly did.